Yeah, we back. Welcome back to another episode of The Culture, the hottest broadcast in the game. Go to my playlist section. We got an entire playlist dedicated to this series. In this series, we shine a light on who's really committing some of the most heinous crimes in the United States and around the world. This project was inspired by years of me listening to certain conservative voices in the media focus on so-called crime in the black community, as if crime was something that was unique to us. So that pushed me to dig deeper into the true crime data, the true news headlines, and the statistics to see where the true criminality is actually coming from. Now, let's get into today's episode. Today's episode is inspired by Elon Musk. So Elon Musk took to social media earlier today and he posted an image on social media, right? I guess in his mind, it was supposed to be comedy or something like that. But anyway, so he posted this cartoon, right? I'm going to zoom in. So as you can see, you see the lawyer and you see the defendant. The defendant is the black man. You know, the black man is looking raggedy. The black man is just looking disheveled, just looking a fool, right? And then the lawyer says, "Your Honor, my client is too dumb to understand that shooting someone is bad." And then the judge responded, and the judge has a black fist on her face, right? The black power fist on her face. And then the judge says, "Good point. Put him back into the public," right? Now, for some reason, Elon Musk decided that the black man should be the defendant. Why is the black man the defendant, right? How come the black man couldn't have been the attorney, or the black man couldn't have been the judge or a member of the jury? Why was the black man the defendant? And why was the black man looking raggedy and disheveled? He don't got a suit for court? Just everything about the cartoon rubbed me the wrong way, and that's what inspired this episode. As you can see, this episode is longer than the other episodes because Elon Musk, you know, he inspired me to really go hard today, right? So anyways, not wasting no time, let's get into today's episode. Let's go.
Now, on the YouTube side, what a lot of these channels love to do is find like a headline of a black person, doing something stupid. They react to it and put black fatigue in the title. Boom. Generates hundreds of thousands of views. And the main talking points of the video is like, I want better for the black community, so I have to highlight the negativity. That's false. These channels are only trying to garner views for their racist white audience, okay? And the reason I know this is because they are never critical on the white race. Let's take September, for example. There have been so many mass shootings, white on white crime, judges getting found with child, so much negativity and bad happening in the white community. Not a peep. Nobody's making videos. But let it be a rare instance of a black person harming a white person. Oh my God, it's going to bring in millions of views. Black fatigue. Oh my God, black people are bad. And bro, I'm sick of it. One thing about me, I will never be the bigger man. If you go low, I'm going to hell. That's kind of crazy to say, but I'm tired of everybody demonizing black people like we are so bad when it's the complete opposite.
So this is probably going to be very controversial. I feel more safe in a space shared with black men than I feel very unsafe in a space shared by white men. Now, before y'all get your panties in a wad and get all pissed off about this, when I am surrounded by a bunch of white men, I'm constantly looking around. I have no fear in a room full of black men. The reason why, when I go to the movies, I don't worry that a black man's gonna up the movie theater. When I go to my church, I don't worry that a black man's gonna the church. When I go to the mall, I don't worry that a black man's gonna the mall. When I go to my children's school, I don't worry that a black man's gonna the school. Black men will target one or two or three individuals. White men will go schools, movie theaters, churches, your grocery store. So before you say that you're worried about being surrounded by black men, you better think about that.
Yeah, we back. Now, since the conservatives have came into power, it's been nonstop anti-black propaganda. I remember back when Trump was running for office and he ran on the anti-Haitian propaganda, right? So this series, The Culture, to me, it's vengeance, really, because the same demographic of people who portrayed themselves to be the beacon of authority, the beacon of morality, the beacon of intelligence. Once we examine the news headlines and the crime statistics and what's really going down in these American streets, we see that the individuals portraying themselves to be the beacon of morality are actually the ambassadors of debauchery, right? So that's why this program is so necessary. This broadcast is a response to all the anti-black propaganda we've been seeing disseminated out into the atmosphere. For example, let's take a look at some videos that have came out recently, right? At the top, white people are tired. Let's talk about black fatigue. At the bottom, Ben Shapiro, why are black crime rates so high? At the top, Matt Walsh, black male violence is statistically disproportionate, right? At the bottom, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk tells students the truth about black culture, right? So we had to come with this series, this broadcast, this program, The Culture, to really show these guys their culture, right? Because they don't want to talk about what's happening in their community. They don't want to talk about what's happening in the gated communities across America, right? In the hillbilly redneck towns across America, in the residential suburbs across America. They don't want to talk about what's happening in their community, but they want to give their 2 cents and their worthless opinions on what's going on in everybody else's community, what's going on in everybody else's country. So now it's time for us to talk about what's going on in your community, buddy. Now, anyways, let's get into the news stories for today, right? Take a look up on the screen. A man has been arrested for making death threats at the grocery store. Today, October 6th. Officers found Mr. Barry Kopang inside the store and detained him. During a pat-down search, police discovered large knives concealed in his pockets. The knives were logged into evidence, right? So check this out. We have individuals going into the grocery store where everybody is minding their business and they're making deadly threats, terroristic threats. And when the authorities come and detain him, they realize that he's carrying a variety of deadly weapons, right? So that's why I was confused at the photo that Elon Musk posted on his social media, because why was the criminal a black man and why was the attorney a white man? Why couldn't the attorney be the black man and the criminal, the scoundrel, be the white man? But anyways, let's continue. Next story. A Detroit City Football Club employee has been charged with 11 felony counts for making terroristic threats, right? So you guys just going all over the place making terroristic threats, man. What's going on, man? This guy right here. Listen, what is happening in the streets of America? Let's continue. Next story, October 6th, today. A man has been arrested after a traffic stop reveals that he is carrying meth and a firearm, right? So you guys, you got to keep your meth, can't forget about that. Can't forget the meth. Let's continue. Next story. The police are looking for victims and witnesses after a man has been arrested for exposing himself in public, right? So you guys, like I said, the ambassadors of debauchery, going out into the public, going out into the wilderness in front of civilians and exposing yourself to the public, putting on a show for the public. Like I said, the ambassadors of debauchery. Let's continue. Next story. October 4th, the other day, a teacher and a coach is accused of invasive visual recording, right? So we already know what time it is with this demographic, right? Once they get around the children, they can't help themselves, man. Once they get around the children, man, like I said, 29% of the population as a standalone demographic committing the vast majority of crimes against children. Listen, you got to answer for that. You got to give me an explanation for that. Let's continue. Next story, October 6th, today, a man has been arrested after stealing a camera and taking a photo of himself. Man, you guys, man, like I said, just committing the most bizarre crimes across the nation. Crimes that I don't even understand. Stealing cameras and having a photo shoot. Man, let's continue. Next story. October 6th, today, a man has been arrested after allegedly attacking nurses. Man, what is going on? Remember the other day or yesterday, we spoke about the other guy who had kicked the nurses in the face. So now this guy attacking the nurses. Like I said, what is wrong with you guys? Stop attacking the medical professionals. Listen, and that's why we had to create this broadcast, because we have guys like Elon Musk who really believe that his demographic is not engaged in criminality, when in reality, you are engaged in the most demonic and barbaric criminality across the country and across the world, right? But now we are going to rearrange and rebalance and recalibrate the narrative back and bring it in balance, right? You guys are running off with the fake narrative, false narrative, trying to make the black man the scapegoat, when we know that your demographic is actually committing the most demonic crimes across the nation and across the planet. Let's get into this story. A man is facing felony charges for allegedly attacking emergency room nurses. The police were called to Pikeville Medical Center early Saturday over a report of an out-of-control emergency room. When officers arrived, security personnel and emergency room staff informed them that Mr. Delbert Miller of Feds Creek had assaulted 3 nurses and fought the security. The officers could see the nurses each had visible marks from being struck and grabbed. Mr. Miller was arrested on 3 counts of third-degree assault of a healthcare provider. Listen, man, that's why we had to create this series, to talk about the stories that guys like Elon Musk will never talk about. Guys like the Hodge twins and Brandon Tatum and Anthony Brian Logan and Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro and Benny Johnson and Matt Walsh, the things they would never talk about. So we have to do their job for them, right? We have to do their job for them because they're too preoccupied with what the black man got going on, right? They got a crush on the black man, right? They got an infatuation with the black man, so they're distracted at the calamity taking place at home. So we have to recalibrate their focus and let them know what's going on back at home. Now let's continue. A man has been arrested for car break-ins and drug possession. Let's get into this story. A man is in jail after a traffic stop led to an arrest for multiple car break-ins and drug possession. The police attempted to pull over a vehicle, which led to a brief pursuit as the driver failed to stop. During the stop, Officers had reason to believe that the driver, Mr. Xavier Garlinghouse, was a suspect in multiple vehicle break-ins. A K-9 unit was deployed to search the area for any items that may have been thrown from the vehicle during the pursuit. The search resulted in the discovery of a handgun and drugs, and another gun that had been reported stolen out of a vehicle in the area the break-ins had been reported. Now listen, we have random vagabonds and vagrants breaking into vehicles, stealing guns out of the glove compartment. What is happening in the streets of America? Welcome to the culture, man. Elon Musk, listen, we can't even keep our guns in our vehicles because we got white men that's gonna break into the vehicle and steal our firearms for protection. Listen, we can't even protect our families because white men breaking into vehicles, stealing our weapons. And instead of talking about what's really taking place in your community, well, it's not really your community. Elon Musk, you are an immigrant booty scratcher from South Africa, so it's not even your community. So I don't even know why you stressed out worrying about all this stuff, man. But anyway, instead of worrying about what's really happening in the white community, you are focused on what the black man is doing. You got the black man in the cartoon as the criminal, as the defendant. Why is that? Why couldn't the black man be the attorney or the judge or a member of the jury? Why are we the defendant? Why couldn't the white man be the defendant, right? Because you guys want to push your fake image, your fake propaganda, but now we got to recalibrate the propaganda and bring you back to reality, right? And it's time to reveal the facts that it's actually your demographic that is the true perpetrator of criminality across the country. Now, let's continue. Next story. October 6th, today, a man has been arrested on suspicion of arson. Man, listen, you guys out here making terroristic threats at the grocery store, right? You guys out here beating on the nurses, the medical professionals, man, attacking the nurses. Now, you guys are setting buildings and property on fire. And we can't forget, you breaking into vehicles to steal firearms, right? Just all type of barbarity and just calamity taking place in the community at the hands of the white man. Like, it's crazy. Let's continue. Deputies were called to an address on Pine Street on Park River of a report of a structure fire. Deputies were also notified of a second call in the same neighborhood regarding a gas line on fire. Witnesses told deputies that a man identified as Mr. Patrick Ayun has started a fire inside the home on Pine Street by pouring gasoline into the home and cutting an active gas line. The deputies observed Mr. Ayun inside the house and ordered him out of the home after they made a forceful entry. Listen, man, you guys breaking into property that doesn't belong to you and setting it on fire. You're not even setting your own property on fire. You're going to the property owned by another individual, another tax-paying citizen, and setting his or her property on fire. Barbarity. Let's continue. October 6th, today, a chief meteorologist, Mr. Devin Lucy, has been arrested on domestic violence charges. Let's get into it. Mr. Lucy, 48 years old, was taken into custody by Jefferson Parish deputies on October 5th at 1 a.m. He faces charges of domestic battery with child endangerment, a felony under state law, and resisting an officer by refusing to identify himself. Let's get into this story. According to the preliminary information from the sheriffs, the deputies responded to a residence for a disturbance. A woman at the scene told deputies she had been physically assaulted by Mr. Lucy, her dating partner of 4 years. The woman reported that an argument began at a festival where Mr. Lucy allegedly left her stranded without a ride home, right? So you guys leaving your wives at the festival by themselves, not even, you guys leaving your girlfriend with no ride home, leaving them stranded on the side of the road, man, barbarians. Let's continue. Mr. Lucy allegedly left her stranded without a ride home, and after she returned to their shared home, the argument continued. She stated that she did not have a key, so she used a tool to pry the door open. So time out. You left her stranded on the side of the road. She had to, I'm assuming, probably had to call the Uber for herself, called the Uber. And then when she finally got home and knocked on the door, you ain't even opened the door. You left her knocking on, she had to break into the house with a hammer or a screwdriver. Listen, no love for the women, no love for the children. Man, definitely no love for the children, but damn, no love for the women. And you wonder why the birth rate dropping. You wonder why the birth rate on the decline. Come on now, let's continue. The victim alleges that while she was in bed, Mr. Lucy entered the bedroom and punched her multiple times. Oh my God, now you boxing with the women too? You left them on the side of the road, right? You didn't want to open the door when she knocked on the door. She had to break into the house with a screwdriver or a knife. And now when she sleeps, she finally got inside. Then you started boxing at 2 a.m. Oh my God. See, you wonder why the birth rate dropping. You wonder why the birth rate looking like that. And you mad that Molly and Niger having like 10 babies per women and you having like no babies, bro. Because you boxing with the women. Why you boxing with the women, bro? Come on, man. I don't understand. You living in perfect civilization. You living in peace and harmony and abundance. Why are you boxing with the women, bro? Let's continue. Deputies observed that the women had several small cuts and scratches and welts on her upper body, her forehead, and her face. So you was really in there boxing. You was really on your Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? God damn. Left battle scars on her body. And listen, I can see her face. She was definitely, defending herself. I could see she was definitely throwing it back, right? So you guys were really having a full-blown boxing match at 3 a.m, right? Like real deal, like Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather at 3 a.m. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Wow. That's why I say we have to talk about what is happening in the gated communities across America. What is happening in the hillbilly redneck towns across the country? What is happening in the suburban suburbs across the nation, right? These guys are having boxing matches with their women at 3 a.m, leaving them on the side of the road. But they worried about the black man though. Let's continue. The victim told deputies that her children were present and sleeping on the sofa during the altercation. When questioned by the deputies, Mr. Lucy reportedly refused to provide his name or his date of birth and refused to put on any clothes or shoes. So listen, when the cops come, you don't even have the decency and the respect for law enforcement to put on some clothes. You just walk around, just everything hanging out. Just had a boxing match with your girl at 3 a.m. Don't even want to put on no pants. Like, man, just real barbarian in the building. Like, let's continue. He was medically cleared by EMS before being read his rights and transported to the correctional center for bookings. Man, real barbarian in the building, man. Real deal barbarian in the building. Let's continue. Next story. October 6th, today, a man has been arrested for inappropriate, unlawful acts with minors. As per usual with this demographic. Let's continue. Deputies say that 31-year-old Mr. Andrew Neely faces 17 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, 3 counts of unlawful dissemination of obscene material to a minor, stemming from an investigation where Mr. Neely is accused of providing illegal substances and alcohol to minors on multiple occasions. Authorities also allege that he sent and received explicit materials involving minors and made inappropriate physical contact with at least one victim and requested explicit acts. Now, wow, just in the last 24 hours alone, do you know how many of you guys have been to jail, have been arrested for crimes against children? Just in the last 24 hours alone, bro. This was a very high traffic past 24 hours. Like, wow, what happened over the weekend? You guys were really chasing the children this weekend. Let's continue. Next story. Take a look up on the screen. A substitute teacher has been arrested following an investigation into an alleged inappropriate communication with a student. According to the sheriffs, Miss Crystal Sims came under investigation after deputies received information that she had communicated with a male student with the intent to meet him in person outside of school. Investigators say the student reported that he first met Mrs. Sims when she was a teacher in his class and later connected with her on social media. The student told deputies that in August, the conversation shifted toward arranging a meeting. Deputies say they obtained a phone call in which a woman's voice could be heard asking the student if he was coming to meet her. The call later became a video chat that investigators say was inappropriate in nature. In an interview with the authorities, Ms. Sims admitted to being the woman in the recording, but claimed that her intention in meeting the student was only to address classroom behavior. She denied that any physical meeting ever took place. Now, listen, I don't know what happened this weekend. Man, y'all was chasing the children 100 miles per hour maximum speed. Now, when it comes to crimes against children, when it comes to this community, oh my God, every single day, new indictments, new arrests, new convictions. But it seems that this past couple days, this past 24 hours, the traffic has been a little higher than usual. Let's continue. Next story, August 2025. A Tallahassee man pleads guilty to international crimes involving minors. Whoa. Like I said, man, you guys are international with it. You guys are not local jokers. You guys are international globetrotters when it comes to the crimes against children. Let's continue, man. It's international crimes, bro, against children. Like I said, these guys, they take the show on the road. These guys hop on planes, hop on boats, take trips across the country, simply only express purpose just for the children. Let's continue. A Tallahassee man pleads guilty in federal court to a series of serious offenses involving a minor overseas. Man, like I said, you guys are international. Let's continue. Federal prosecutors say 25-year-old Mr. Austin Keith Hibbert admitted to charges of attempting to entice a minor to engage in unlawful activity, attempting to travel for illicit conduct, and transferring obscene material to a person under the age of 16. According to court documents, investigators found that from May 2023 to August 2024, Mr. Hibbert communicated almost every single day with a 13-year-old child in the country of Estonia. after meeting them through an online game. Authorities say the communication quickly turned inappropriate and that Mr. Hibbert sent the child more than a dozen explicit videos. Oh my God, like I said, international. Like, hey, listen, what that song by Tupac said, Mr. International, play it with the passport. That's these guys when it comes to the children. Mr. International, play it with the passport, right? That's what Tupac said on that song, How Do You Want It? But see, when Tupac said it, he was talking about beautiful women who are of age, grown, beautiful women. Mr. International, play it with the passport. I got beautiful women all over the world. That's what Tupac was talking about. But these guys take it to a different place, right? When they say Mr. International, play it with the passport, they talk about something totally different. Now let's continue. In August 2024, investigators discovered Mr. Hibbert had applied for a passport and booked a flight from Tallahassee to Estonia. My God. International. Law enforcement intercepted him at the airport before he could board the plane. Like I said, this is why nations like the United States, nations like France, nations like Britain, nations like Germany, Australia, New Zealand, pretty much every nation where a certain demographic is a segment of the population, they had to put laws on the books, extraterritorial laws protecting children in foreign countries, protecting children in foreign states, because they realized that a certain demographic had a habit of packing their bags, grabbing their luggage, and going overseas for the express purpose of looking for their children, right? So it became such a habit overseas that it actually became a liability for their foreign policy and their relationships with foreign countries, right? Because if you're known as the country that's always exporting a bunch of, individuals that want to engage in unlawful acts with minors, that's going to damage your reputation. That's going to damage your diplomacy internationally. When a bunch of your citizens are going overseas to do terrible things to the children of those countries, right? You're going to leave a nasty taste in their mouth. So the nations that I mentioned, the United States and all their Western allies, had to put extraterritorial laws on the books to protect the children in foreign countries from individuals like this, right? Because this guy is one of many. It's a cultural habit. It goes way back. This goes way back. This practice goes way back. Going to a foreign country just for the children. Listen, this is embedded into the culture. The culture, for real. Welcome to the culture, man. Let's continue. Next story, August 2025. A man has been sentenced for producing illegal material involving minors. It's crazy, man. Jesus. And like I said, I'm not even going to anything. Everything I'm talking about happened in the last 24 hours, last few weeks, last 90 days at most. Everything is super recent. Just happened. Let's get into it. Federal prosecutors say that a 49-year-old man, Mr. George Michael Brock Jr. of Kentucky, was sentenced to 29 years in federal prison. Investigators say Mr. Brock first came to law enforcement attention back in 2016 after using social media to lure underage victims into inappropriate modeling. He was convicted in 2018 on state charges related to using electronic communication to target minors and placed under sex offender supervision after his release. According to his plea agreement, in January 2023, Mr. Brock, while still under registration requirements, began communicating with a minor through video chat and directed the victim to create and send explicit images. Records later showed that he had similar exchanges with multiple minors and shared some of those images with other people online. My God, listen, next story. Jesus Christ. Like I said, man, you guys need to focus inward. Look inward. What is happening in your community, right? What is happening in your society? Stop focusing on what the black man is doing, what the black community is up to, what they doing, what they ate for breakfast. Worry about the calamity, the destruction, the chaos, and the mayhem that is running roughshod all over your community. Let's continue. August 2025. A Cincinnati Children's Hospital doctor charged after authorities find over 153,000 illegal images involving minors. Listen, brothers, we have a new record. We've already beat a new record. Remember earlier today, we discovered the other guy who was discovered by the authorities with 50,000 images and videos involving minors. He beat the previous record of the other guy 2 weeks ago who was caught with 7,000 images, right? And earlier today, there was another guy who was caught with 10,000 images. Now we have a brand new world record holder. A new record holder. This man, a doctor at a hospital, right? A doctor of elite status, well-known, respected doctor in the community, was caught with 153,000 images and videos involving minors. Let's continue, man. Let's talk about it. Calamity in the community. Pure destruction and mayhem and chaos and turbulence and instability in the community. A former physician at a Cincinnati children's hospital, not just any hospital, right? Not just any old hospital, not just any old specialist department. No, not the orthopedist, not the neurologist, not the vascular surgeon. No, the doctor working with the children, not the pulmonologist, not the hematologist, the doctor specifically working with children, not the oncologist. No, the doctor working with the children, not the psychiatrist. No, the doctor that works with the children. Let's continue. At the children's hospital. Let's continue. A former physician at the Cincinnati Children's Hospital has been federally charged. Like I said, federal indictments upon federal indictments every single day across the country. Has been federally charged after investigators said they uncovered a massive collection of illegal materials involving minors. Federal prosecutors say that 73-year-old Mr. Howard Saul, who previously worked as a geneticist and a dysmorphologist at the hospital, came under investigation after a cyber tip flagged searches for illegal images traced to his IP address. So this man was at the hospital on the break on his computer looking for the illegal images involving minors. Yo, boy, let's continue. According to the court documents, a detective at the sheriff's office assigned to the FBI's task force led the investigation. Authorities say a review of his electronic devices so far have uncovered more than 153 images and over 470 videos depicting minors and infants. Prosecutors note that at this stage of the investigation, there is no evidence that any of the material involved patients or children at the hospital. Mr. Saul appeared in federal court in Cincinnati and is facing serious federal charges as the investigation continues. Now, that's what I'm saying. Like, why did Elon Musk decide to make the defendant in that cartoon? Why did he post that cartoon where the black man is the defendant and the white man is the attorney, right? So how come the white man couldn't have been the defendant, right? Like I said, every single day you guys going down federal indictments coming after the children. How come it had to be a black man committing a violent crime? How come it couldn't have been a white man committing a crime against children? Right? I think that cartoon would have also been accurate. Why do you choose the black man to portray as the criminal and the deviant, when in reality we know who the true criminals and deviants truly are, when we truly examine the news stories coming out every single day, right? Every single day you're going down for the most demonic, diabolical crimes, the most demonic crimes, right? But you want to put the spotlight on the black man because you want to take the spotlight off of your demographic and the debauchery they engage in. Do you know that, hey, Mr. Elon Musk, do you know that one of the South African refugees that came under Trump's program that was sponsored by you and Trump, do you know one of them also already has caught cases for crimes involving minors, right? One of your South African brethren, your white South African brethren who came to the country under Trump's refugee program, they've already caught cases involving minors already. They haven't even been in the country for a year yet. They haven't even been in the country for a year, already catching cases involving minors. It's crazy. I spoke about it on previous videos, right? But you want to make the black man seem like the deviant and the criminal. And that's why we had to start this program. We had to start this series, The Culture, to put the spotlight back on the true perpetrators of criminality. Now, let's continue. August 2025, a man has been arrested for producing illegal materials involving minors. Let's continue. An Oregon man has been sentenced to more than 20 years in federal prison for producing illegal materials involving minors. Federal prosecutors say 29-year-old Mr. Dusty Jackaway was sentenced to 250 months in prison following a federal investigation. According to court documents, deputies with the Lane County Sheriff's located Mr. Jackaway in a vehicle with a 13-year-old child back in October 2024. A search of their phones revealed videos documenting abuse. Investigators say Mr. Jackaway first met the victim online when she was 12 and began the abuse soon after. Evidence also showed that he provided the child with illegal substances and later exploited the victim for money and drugs. After completing his prison term, Mr. Jackaway will be under a lifetime of federal supervision. Next story, August 2025. Man, a lot of calamity happened in August. A Shelby County man has been sentenced to 10 years for attempting to target a minor. Man, all this calamity and chaos and tragedy that happened in the month of August, and you guys want to run with Irina Zarutska as the main story? Propaganda, man. All the calamity that took place in your community in that same month. All them children that were the victims of terrible crimes and you didn't say a word about them. You ain't even open your mouth about them. Crazy. Let's continue. A man has been sentenced to 10 years in federal prison after being caught in a sting operation targeting those who try to approach minors online. Federal prosecutors say 43-year-old Mr. Justin Warren Lindstrom from Alabama was sentenced in U.S. District Court. Authorities say the case began in November 2023 when an undercover officer posing as a 15-year-old girl posted an online ad. Mr. Lindstrom responded and later showed up at a park expecting to meet with a minor. Officers arrested him during a traffic stop, and a search of his accounts uncovered illegal images and videos involving minors. Now, like I said, 29% of the population committing 70 to 80% of crimes in this sector. That is crazy. And Elon Musk has the nerve to paint the black man as the defendant in the courtroom. The black man is the defendant and the criminal and the vagabond and the vagrant. Okay. Like I said, you guys are up in the score. 153,000 illegal images. That's the new high score. Only you guys could commit such a feat. Only you guys could accomplish such an accomplishment. 153,000 images of wow. Let's continue. Next story. A Virginia man has been sentenced for international crimes involving minors. Like I said, man, Mr. International player with the passport. Listen, these guys, they're on a different type of time, right? When they say Mr. International, they're not talking about what we talking about. When we talk about Mr. International, we talking about, chilling with some beautiful black women who are of age, right? These guys, they talk about something else, right? International. Let's continue. A Virginia man has been sentenced to more than 15 years in federal prison for crimes involving minors that extended overseas. Like I say, man, these guys packing their bags, grabbing their luggage for the children. Federal prosecutors say that 52-year-old Randall Mack, who had been living in Singapore, man, thank God he wasn't in Africa. I mean, it's a tragedy for the Singaporean children. My heart goes out to the children of Singapore, but thank God he stayed his ass away from the continent, because these guys love taking that debauchery to the continent. They love going to Kenya. They love going to the Ivory Coast. They love going to the Gambia. They love going to Haiti, especially. Haiti. They love Haiti. Don't listen to what they say. Listen, I know these guys get on their mainstream media. They talk down on Haiti, but when nobody's looking, they running over to Haiti looking for the children. I'm telling you, I know these guys, man. These guys love Haitian children in the worst ways, the most diabolical ways. Jesus, these guys will be on a whole different type of time. Let's continue. Mr. Mack was arrested in December 2024 when he landed at Dulles International Airport. A search of his phone uncovered about 180 videos and 560 images involving minors. According to court documents, the investigation began in September 2024 as part of a sex tourism investigation. Like I say, the authorities have to do international investigations because of these guys. They have to have whole entire departments and law enforcement dedicated just for these guys alone, right? The sex tourism department. It's crazy, man. These guys have shifted international law because of their debauchery. Let's continue. Undercover agents say Mr. Mack not only shared illegal images online, but connected an undercover officer with the contact in the Philippines who he claimed could provide access to children. No, we gotta run that back. The undercover agents say Mr. Mack not only shared illegal images and videos online, but he connected an undercover officer with contacts in the Philippines who he said could provide them access to children. That's why they had to put laws on the books against these guys, because these guys go overseas and just start going down the rabbit hole of criminality. Let's continue. Mr. Mack also provided travel tips, hotel recommendations, and admitted to traveling to Philippines multiple times between 2021 and 2024 to engage in illegal conduct with minors. Mr. Mack pleaded guilty in April 2025 to the distribution of illegal material involving minors. He was sentenced to 188 months in prison and will be on lifetime supervision. Now, welcome to the culture, man. Let's continue. Next story, August 2025. A man pleads guilty to crimes involving a minor and faces 15 to 22 years in prison. Let's get into it. Federal prosecutors say Mr. Jonathan Travis Mackey, who was employed by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the FDIC, at the time of the offense, admitted to crimes involving an 11-year-old victim. So we have a government employee working for the FDIC terrorizing the children of America. As part of his plea, Mr. Mackey immediately resigned from the FDIC. Court documents state that in May 2024, Mr. Mackey created unlawful images involving the victim. The plea agreement recommends a federal prison sentence ranging from 15 to 22 years. Next story, October 6th, today, a Canton man has been indicted by a grand jury on charges involving a minor. Authorities say 31-year-old Stephen Kuczynski was arrested in April following an investigation by state police. Troopers say the case stemmed from a complaint involving an 11-year-old child at a home in the town of Canton. Man, listen, the 11-year-olds, the 12-year-olds, the infants, the toddlers, man. Listen, but Elon Musk wants to paint the black man as the defendant. Listen, Take a look at what's happening in America for real. Let's continue. A man has been arrested 14 years after his first offense involving a minor, right? So we have repeat offenders, right? Who've been offending for over a decade, right? Repeat offenders, veteran offenders. Let's continue. The Woodruff Police Department says 38-year-old Joshua Allen Payne was taken into custody on Monday and charged with first-degree criminal conduct with a minor under the age of 11. Officials say Mr. Payne was first arrested back in August 2011 in an internet predator investigation by the Lawrence County Sheriffs. At that time, he was accused of soliciting what he believed was a 12-year-old child online and sending inappropriate material. Authorities say the latest arrest marks a continuation of the case, and Mr. Payne is being held as the investigation continues. Mr. Payne is accused of emailing the girl inappropriate photos of himself, and her father discovered it on her computer and notified the sheriffs. My goodness, man. Welcome to the culture, man. Next story. October 6th, today, an international manhunt has ended with the arrest of a man who was wanted in Florida. Listen, they arrested this guy all the way in France, right? They arrested this man in France, but he was wanted in Florida for the crimes against children. Somehow he done made it all the way to France. And you know them boys in France, listen, the white man in France, he's no different. It doesn't matter. The white man in the UK, the white man in France, the white man in Tennessee, the white man in Florida, the white man in Canada. Listen, when it comes to the children, man, listen, it's culture. Let's continue. Authorities say Mr. Daniel St. Pierre was being sought by officials in Hernando County, Florida, after he allegedly violated the terms of his pretrial release by removing a court-ordered monitoring device and then fleeing the United States. Like I say, man, these guys... How many stories have we covered where these guys are put under investigation and they grab their luggage, they grab their carry-on, they grab their passport, they grab their plane ticket, and they go, man, they go. A federal arrest warrant was issued on July 2025, and on October 2nd, 2025, the U.S. Marshals, working with Interpol and the French authorities, coordinated his arrest without incident in Bayonne, France. Listen, this is the international episode. Mr. International. Listen, these guys international. They're in Singapore. They over there. They over here. They everywhere, man. The children are not safe, man. Hide your children. Hide the babies. Hide everybody, man. Listen, put the locks on the door, man. Let's continue. A man has been arrested after an abducted child is found deceased in Mississippi. Authorities say Mr. Daniel Wayne Callahan is accused of deleting 35-year-old Callie Brunnett in her home back in June 2024. Investigators say Mr. Callahan and Brunette had dated in the past. According to the coroner, she had died from multiple stab wounds and showed signs of defensive injuries. After she was found assassinated, Mr. Callahan allegedly abducted her two young daughters, her 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. A massive multi-state search followed. The 3-year-old was found deceased in a wooded area in Mississippi, and her sister was rescued and taken to a hospital for treatment. Prosecutors say Mr. Callahan has since pleaded guilty in federal court. He also faces state charges for kidnapping, burglary, and robbery. Authorities described the case as one of the most brutal cases they have encountered involving the deaths of a mother and her children. Like I say, man, you really need to take some time to examine what's going on inside your own community, man. You need to take some time and reflect and have some family conversations, some private community conversations about all the calamity and instability taking place in the community, the tragedy, especially the tragedy that's falling on the doorsteps of the children every single day, every single night, every single afternoon living in this country. Wow. I don't understand, man. I don't understand. Let's continue. Next story, September 2025. A Snapchat video leads to an arrest in an animal-related crime. Man, even the animals ain't safe, man. The animals, the babies, the toddlers, nobody's safe, man. Let's continue. A 22-year-old man has been arrested following a months-long investigation sparked by a report involving a disturbing Snapchat video. Authorities say Mr. Justin Nicholas Watson was arrested on Friday and charged with felony bestiality. Investigators allege that in May, Watson recorded an act involving a dog and shared the video with at least 3 individuals on Snapchat. A search warrant for his Snapchat account was executed on August 14th, leading to a follow-up search at his home on September 12th. The dog was removed from the residence and placed under the care of the animal services, and authorities say the animal did not suffer any long-term physical harm. Like I say, how many cases have we discussed relating to animals just in this series so far, man? The animals and the children, especially. The animals and the children. All the beautiful women out in the world. All the beautiful choices and options of beautiful women, you know, but you're going to sidestep that. You're going to go around that. You're going to put that to the side in exchange for the animals instead, in exchange for the minors instead. I'll never understand, man. Something I'll never understand. How could you be 29% of the population and dominating the game, leading the league at a disproportionate rate when it comes to crimes against children? Listen, eventually you're going to have to stop talking about the black community, and eventually you're going to have to start having real conversations about what's taking place inside your community, right? Mr. International. That's what I'm gonna start calling y'all, Mr. International, because y'all international with the criminality. You guys are not regional. You guys are not local. You guys are not around the way. You guys are international, worldwide, international syndication with the criminality, man. Listen, crazy. But anyway, since we're on the topic of Elon Musk, just a couple weeks ago, Elon Musk's father was in the headlines for crimes against children, alleging that he also committed certain, acts of debauchery, acts of a demonic nature when it came to his own children. Now, of course, he denied the allegations, and I haven't seen Mr. Elon Musk address the allegations, but, like I said, it seems that Elon Musk has other things that he should address. He should spend his time focusing on the men in his community that's committing all the calamity and the debauchery, instead of wasting his time and our time focusing on the black man, making the black man the boogeyman, when we can see, especially when it comes to your community, we can see who is the true perpetrator, who is the true progenitor of crime in the community. And it's you, my friend. It is you. It is your demographic. It is the men of your complexion. It is not the black man, right? The black man is not the number one vehicle of crime in the community. It is you. It is your demographic. It is your group doing it to your own people, your own children, your own women. So please take the time to put the spotlight on yourself, right? The more you put the spotlight on me, I'm going to put the spotlight 10 times harder on you. And it's going to look so ugly. It's going to look so ugly because you tried so hard to hide your imperfections, to hide your impurities, that once it's shown in the spotlight, man, it's going to be a sight to see. It's already a sight to see. The series so far has already been groundbreaking, astonishing, the level of crime we've been revealing to the world, right? The crime that's hidden on the local news that we don't talk about on the mainstream media, right? Because the black man is the headline act. But now we have to make you the headline act. We got to make you the star of the show. And that's what we're doing on this series, The Culture. Now, anyways, man, it's your boy Nefakari. That's Salim back in the building. Yes, indeed. Cash App in the description. Pin comment at the top. The Spy and Bomber Code, second single of the next project. Subscribe to the Patreon, NTD1814. Link in the description. And I'm gone. Peace.
Feel like it's see me, I feel like I'm Saudi or ran up on Yana in the middle of Bamako. Enemy line, they claiming he innocent. Don't do no talking, I gotta move militant. Don't do no talking, I hit him with facts. 1804, bringing it back. 1804 like I'm Mother Cap Henry. King with the vision, the crown never empty. Top of the mountain, my soldiers defend me. Ducking and dodging the foreign intelligence. Hitting my dance on the DGSE. Dodging they traps, still on my feet. Feeling impeccable, feel like I'm shining. Go to my neck and I'm flooded with diamonds. Go to my neck and I feel like a mess. Feel like a lion, I'm in the savannah. Feel like the king when I'm up in the jungle. Never defeated, I never been humble. Come out victorious every encounter. Money machine give me help when I count it. Money machine stack it up in a beat. Heart of a king and I ride for the team. Weight of the world got it stuck on my shoulders. Bet you can feel it, my heart getting colder. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell her get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy trapping, I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison. Hoping they wish we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she pressure. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in bikini. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heater. Yeah, gotta stay focused so when it's in shots I gotta react. Cause I'm a target, I'm under attack. Grabbing a weapon, I tell her get back. Mission exposed, secrets unfold. Enemy trapping, I'm still in control. Got your boy sitting in Bamako prison. Hoping they wish we sending them home. Enemy know that we good under pressure. Been through the thunderous turbulent storm. Shorty a diamond, I told her she pressure. Hop in a whip and I'm taking her home. Hop in a whip and I'm swerving, I'm smashed. Killing my enemies, one of my passion. Rocking this gold like we in bikini. Feel like the captain, I'm clutching a heater.